Hi everyone, it's Bill from the Vinylverse. This is part two of my Genesis vinyl collection. I'm going to pick up where I left off from part one. So here we go. Genesis is now a three-piece with Tony Banks, Mike Rutherford, and Phil Collins. So their next album came out in 1978. And they decided to call it And Then There Were Three, acknowledging that there's only three members left in the band. Still a good album. It had the hit Follow You, Follow Me on it. This is the album that really, I guess, got them popular, put them on the map from that song. They always had a strong following before this, but this, I guess, made them a little more mainstream. It's a gatefold. This is an original U.S. pressing on Atlantic. So my favorite songs on here, Deep in the Motherlode, Many Too Many, and the drumming on the opening track called Down and Out, it's just amazing. So that's it. And then there were three from 1978. Next, this is when Genesis' sound really changed and started moving in a more shorter song, maybe pop direction, although they're not quite there yet. So 1980, the album Duke. This is a awesome record. I really love this album. Pretty cool artwork with such a drastic change for them. So this had the classic song Turn It On Again. Tony Banks has been on record as saying this album is where Phil Collins really became a singer. So I already said it had the hit Turn It On Again. It also had their hit Misunderstanding on here. Standout tracks to me, though, are Duchess and the opening Behind the Lines, and then the closing Duke's Travels, Duke's End. Pretty cool instrumental at the end there. Okay, so that's 1980. 1981, let's see here, gave us Abacab and Abacab and Abacab. Actually, they released 4 cover variants for this album. Each with different color swatches on here. And they labeled the spine, not sure if you can pick it up here, but they labeled the spine with letters A, this one's D, and this one down here is B. I'm missing the C, which has, I forget the order. Maybe it was red, blue, yellow, gray, something like, let's see, red, blue, yellow, gray, something like that. So, let's see, this is my original copy here. And this Did I say this came out in 1981? If I didn't say that, this came out in 1981. For me, the best songs, or my favorite songs, are the song Abacab. Then on side two, there's two songs. One called Dodo, and then the second one is Lurker. And it's kind of one song, but they have it named as two. So yeah, I'm still on the lookout for that fourth variant, the third in the series. So I have A, B, and D. I just need C now. I'll find it at some point. So after Abacab in 1981, they put out another live album, Three Sides Live. This is another great live album. Genesis is one of those bands that really shined as a live act. Now in the U.S., this truly was Three Sides Live. Sides 1, 2, and 3 were all live, and then the fourth side gave us some studio tracks, some new studio tracks, including Paper Late, which was kind of a hit for them. But in the UK, isn't that a cool shot? In the UK, the fourth side was live, but it was from earlier in their career. I think it was taken from a tour in 1977 or 1978, not sure which. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was 76 and 77. I think they had tracks from. So Three Sides Live. Definitely the standout on here for me is the In the Cage medley. It's so good. So good. Okay, so after Three Sides Live, that was 1982. 1983 brought us their Selftitled album. Now, I just need to point out, I think this is pretty much the weakest cover for all of their studio albums. This album cover just never did it for me. Yeah, not sure. It doesn't. The earlier covers that I've shown, it really, the mood of the album kind of really suits the artwork of the cover, but this one, yeah, I don't know what they were really going for. But that being said, it is a very good album. This is a original 1983 US pressing. Probably it's on Atlantic. It has probably one of my absolute favorite vocals by Phil Collins and on the song Mama. I mean, it's incredible what he does on that song. Really, really good. Other standout tracks are Home by the Sea, Second Home by the Sea. They also, this now is the MTV era, so they had some music videos for Mama and That's All. And of course, Illegal Alien. So yeah, good album. Then after that, they took a 3-year hiatus and come back in 1986 with their smash album, Invisible Touch. Now, before this album, Genesis they were a big band, very popular, very strong following. But this album, when this came out, it basically made them the biggest band in the world. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing a song off this album on the radio or MTV or in the supermarket shopping. You'd hear Genesis on the loudspeaker, or you couldn't turn on the radio without hearing a song from here. This tour was actually my very first concert. I got to see them, which was, seeing your favorite band as your first concert is, it's amazing. So, standout tracks, Domino, Throwing It All Away, Tonight. Really, really good stuff. That's the custom label. This is my original US pressing from 1986. So after that, Genesis goes on tour for a couple years, I think. And it would be 5 full years before they put out another studio album. And then they came back with We Cant Dance, which ended up being another huge album for them. Pardon me. This is a European pressing from 1991, the year it came out. These are the inner sleeves. So I didn't, when this came out, of course I bought it on CD. I didn't get the vinyl. Vinyl was kind of going away at that point. So after the fact, I picked up a copy, and unfortunately it's got a tear on the back cover here. This would be the last studio album that Phil Collins would be on. So the big hit off of this album was No Son of Mine. My favorite songs off this album would be Jesus, He Knows Me, Fading Lights, Living Forever, all great songs. Pardon me. So that's actually all the releases I have on vinyl. After We Cant Dance, they went on tour, and they ended up putting out 2 albums, live albums. One called The Way We Walk the Shorts and The Way We Walk the Longs. So they took songs from that tour, and the shorter songs they put out on an album, and then the longer songs they put out on an album. And this is from one of their box sets that has both albums combined into one disc. Still looking for this on vinyl. It was not released in the US on vinyl. So I'm on the hunt for it. Or for them, I should say. And then in 1997, Mike Rutherford and Tony Banks decided to continue Genesis, and they found a new lead singer in Bray Wilson, and they put out this album, Calling All Stations. And again, I don't have it on vinyl, and it's not my favorite album by far, but it's got some, it does have a little bit of the classic Genesis sound. Excuse me. So it's not bad by any means. It's just different hearing a different lead singer, Ray Wilson. So I'm on the lookout for this on vinyl too, but I never picked that up on vinyl. So this is that's my Genesis record collection. Now I also have a handful of 45s. I have a 12-inch single and a picture disc and some bootlegs that I can show in another video, which I may do at some point. So yeah, that's my Genesis collection on vinyl. So at some point I'll also, I think I'll do a ranking where I rank their albums, and then I'll probably do several more videos maybe talking about individual albums or groupings of albums or something. So yeah, again, Genesis are my favorite band. I never grow tired of them. I can't get enough of them, and I love all eras of Genesis. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed these videos. Sorry that they're kind of long and drawn out, but what can you do? Anyway, thanks again for all of you who've subscribed, all of you who sat through this and watched. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments what your favorite Genesis records are, or anything you want to add. I appreciate the comments very much. So it's Bill with the Vinylverse. Take care, everybody.